Well, a marriage proposal is one of the most romantic gestures in the world, isn't it? Getting down on one knee and asking the love of your life to marry you. But in a world of social media, everything must be done to go viral, like this very extra proposal where he tattooed it on his leg.
I'm not gonna look. You just check one. Need a minute?
Oh. Bit awkward if she picked the wrong box. In a world where we video everything in the hopes of gaining a few likes, that means the good and the bad are caught on camera.
I love you. I want you to be in my life forever. Will you marry me? Seriously, you're embarrassing me. Will you marry me? Stop embarrassing me. Hey! Stop.
That's the best.
Wow. Relationship expert Melissa Ferrari is on the couch with us this morning to chat. Hello.
Hello.
Makes people very anxious. Melissa, have we lost the meaning behind a marriage proposal? Is it all for likes these days?
Look, I don't think it's all for likes, but I think we are losing a little bit of the reason why people do get married. And being with these flamboyant kind of marriage proposals does make it that little bit more exciting for people. So I think it possibly does take away people looking at why get married, why do this?
So why are people so transfixed on having their videos go viral?
Well, I think it's because, you know, today we kind of look at success. In the old-fashioned days, we kind of look at success more around whether we're successful in relationships or marriage, whereas nowadays we look a little bit more at success as to how famous we can kind of get. And because, you know, Facebook, Instagram, all of those things are there, it certainly enhances your opportunity. So I think that that is part of why things get a little bit confusing around this issue.
And some people are turning down proposals because they're not big enough.
What?
Is that, I mean, that's insane that, you know, you can't, how big do you have to get in your proposal? And is that kind of a precursor for where your relationship's going to go if you base it on that?
I think that some people do tend to measure the success of our relationship on how big a ring is or what the marriage proposal was like. And so it's really losing sight of what the quality of the relationship means, because that is what deems success, is how good we are at doing the relationship.
Absolutely right.
Yeah.
The less effort you put in, the more likely you're going to be happy.
How did you propose to Georgie, Mez?
I was in a bar and we'd had a couple of drinks and I said, do you still want to get married? And she said, yeah. And I said, great.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was beautiful. It was a beautiful moment. I didn't get down on bended knee or anything like that. I just said, do you want to get married?
Had you
and she
asked?
Said, what, pre-asked?
No, from Dad, permission.
No, I don't ask for permission. I'm a full-grown man. I can do it myself.
Ask for forgiveness.
But so Melissa, romantic enough.
So it always has been about size of things, isn't it? It's like the ring.
That's after marriage.
No, I meant your proposals are getting big. It's all getting big now, isn't it? So Melissa, let's just change this tact. How do we shift our thinking? What do we need to consider? Not just size.
You know, I see a lot of couples and I find the ones that come into my office that need that less help are the ones that only need a little bit of tweaking, have really thought about why do this? Why get married? You know, why be, Jack and Jill? Why
do you think it gets forgotten a bit now?
I think it seems to be. It does. And I think that when you can really ask that question solidly and say, why be us together? Why do this forever? Yeah. And the reason for that makes a difference.
And I know people talk about, when's the right time to start a family because it is expensive. But now I hear young people sort of saying, well, we're not getting married yet because, I want a bigger ring or I want a bigger wedding. And you think, wow, how many decisions are we making here based on finance?
Sometimes when you're worrying about the bigger ring, you can lose each other somewhere in the process. Yeah. And I see that happen.
So should we just go back to basics, do you think?
Well, I think going back to basics is, being able to be honest and look at why we do this, build in your core values. Why do we want to be in love? Why do we want the longevity? Nowadays, we've got questions around monogamy and whether be with the one person for life. So there are so many more questions to ask nowadays, I think.
We asked you guys at home to share your proposal stories, and Kat wrote this: I proposed to my hubby over the kitchen table. I said, do you want to get married? Might as well. We've been together for 6 years. He, lucky me, said yes, and now nearly 26 years later, and a daughter, we are still together. Good for you, Kat.
Jess wrote, I knew my hubby was going to propose, so I was on the edge of my seat every single dinner date. Every time he did something sweet, I was like, oh my God, this is it. Yet after a string of dinner dates, nothing had happened. He hoodwinked me. Instead of doing it on a date night or in some extravagant way, he did it at the local park, Duck Pond, with all the kids and some fish and chips.
Perfect.
I love that.
That's gorgeous.
I love this one from Jan. 45 years ago at the Drive-In Theatre, had been going out for 1 year, got the ring from Dunkings, not sure what that means, but then married a year later. Bit old-fashioned compared to these days, eh?
And finally from Jake, took my now wife to a dinner at a restaurant that had a lot of meaning to us. There was a cocktail bar attached and I had glasses engraved with "Will you marry me?" sitting, waiting for us when we came out for a few drinks after dinner. Unfortunately, though, that was a Greek restaurant and they smashed it. that ended disastrously. So, but I mean, the thought was there.
Really good advice, Melissa Ferrari. Nice to see you as always.
Thank you.